Taking a rest. This topic can be understood in many ways. You can think about break time at work. This usually lasts from 15 minutes to an hour. There is also after work off at the end of your workday, usually around 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., or the weekend off on Saturday and Sunday. I suggest you stick with the idea of relaxing or letting your hair down. Staying positive about this topic is recommended because it's all about resting. You can use collocations and expressions like day off, break time, rest time, catch up on my sleep, get back to work a 9 to 5 job, take a breather, zone out, swamped with work, steady my nerves, recharge my battery, free my mind every chance I get, to stay sharp, have a blast, listening to my jam, a superb way, to pull through, a cat nap, a sigh of relief, a throbbing headache. A quick reminder, you don't need to speak too long in this section. You just need to satisfy the task of each question. Try to give direct answers and reasons. Check the last part of this video for sample structures. However, if you want to have a higher band score, you need to build a good impression by talking a bit longer. You have to use less common vocabulary and expressions as early as Part 1 section. The following model answers are designed for higher band scores. Let's take a look at them.
How often do you take a rest?
Well, if it's about the frequency of my rest time, I'd say I rest as often as every weekend. My weekdays are swamped with work and appointments. So basically, weekend is my day off and I use this time to zone out and take a breather.
How often do you take a rest?
I take a rest every weekend. It's because I don't go to work on weekends. That means I have enough time to sleep all day and recharge my battery.
How often do you take a rest?
When it comes to how often I take a rest, I can say it's every day after work. Actually, I work a 9 to 5 job and it's not easy. So when I get home, I leave my work stuff outside the door and just steady my nerves. It's practically my favorite part of the day.
How often do you take a rest?
Let me see. At work, I do it about 3 times because we have this 15 minutes break time in the morning and afternoon, and another 1 hour break at lunchtime. These work recesses help me regain my concentration. In short, I could get back to work feeling more productive.
How often do you take a rest?
Basically, I take a rest on weekends because I'm a student, which means I don't need to hit school on Saturday and Sunday. I'm glad that's the case. I mean, the weekend gives me time to feel laid back.
What do you usually do when you are resting?
My activities involve a variety of things. First off, I binge watch Netflix shows and series. I also catch up on my sleep because I'm usually beat on weekdays. On top of that, I enjoy hanging out with my buddies and we usually have a blast.
What do you usually do when you are resting?
I'd say in most cases, I try to be idle and isolated when I'm resting. It means I don't move a muscle at all. That's more like lying down in my bed all day long. I find it very comforting and revitalizing.
What do you usually do when you are resting?
I usually do many things when I'm resting, such as catching up on my reading, watching comedy shows, and listening to my jam. You know what? These activities allow me to let my hair down.
What do you usually do when you are resting?
I can think of one thing when it comes to this topic, and that's playing computer games. If I'm not playing my PlayStation 4, I'm out in a computer shop with my friends playing online games. Either of those two, you could say doing them free my mind.
What do you usually do when you are resting?
It only boils down to two things. One is going to the gym because I find sweating a superb way to loosen up and I can stay in shape too. And another thing is cooking, as spending time in the kitchen eases my restlessness.
Do you take a nap when you are taking your rest?
Well, I try not to take a nap as much as possible. What I mean is that my rest time is rather short and I don't want to spend it away in bed. Instead, I plunge myself into something valuable like spending time with my family during my rest time.
Do you take a nap when you are taking your rest?
Oh, yes, I do. It has something to do with my insomnia. Sad to say, it attacks frequently these days. So I take a nap every chance I get to catch up on my sleep. It actually helps me to stay alert at work.
Do you take a nap when you are taking your rest?
I can't say I do. It's a bit of an impossible task, actually. My schedule is always swamped, and when you're too busy and you want to take a rest but you can't because your mind couldn't stop thinking, that's my case. It's tough, but I gotta pull through.
Do you take a nap when you are taking your rest?
Well, yes, of course I do. Since I can't really catch more than 6 hours of sleep on weekdays. Simply stated, I take a cat nap on weekends to restore my energy. Feels good.
Do you take a nap when you are taking your rest?
As much as I want to, but I don't, because I have tons of tasks piled up. Taking a nap put me behind schedule, and I hate finding myself in that position. In other words, even if I wanted to take a nap, I couldn't.
How do you feel after taking a nap?
In general, I feel rejuvenated after taking a nap. I think in some way, taking a nap relieves my stress and worries. On the whole, I couldn't help but feel energetic and focused.
How do you feel after taking a nap?
I'd say taking a nap makes me feel more, what you call it? Oh, yes, lethargic. I'm not sure about you, but in my case, a nap makes me want to sleep more. That's the exact reason why I personally avoid taking a nap.
How do you feel after taking a nap?
To be honest with you, I feel sharp after a cat nap. It's like all my senses are powered up, making me more productive. And for me, the perfect nap is 20 minutes, and I set an alarm on my phone not to miss it.
How do you feel after taking a nap?
Well, that's an interesting question. Let's say it all depends upon the length of the nap. Say if it's within 20 minutes, I feel satisfied and a sigh relief. However, if it's more than that, it doesn't feel good anymore. And I just want to sleep longer.
How do you feel after taking a nap?
Whenever I take a nap, I get a throbbing headache. I reckon it's because I'm not used to it. Not just that, but also a nap is too short that my whole body reacts to it negatively.